NASCAR Nationwide Drive for COPD 300 review. What started out as a fairly tame race had some cautions for a couple blown engines, one car spin, and then a 3 or 4 car spun in the trouble. Very minor damage. I think only Kurt Busch went out of the race from it. Some others sustained damage, but frankly, till about 4 laps to go, nothing happened. Then as they come around for 4 laps to go, the big one started, where Austin Dillon and several others got major damage. Jeffrey Earnhardt, too many to name. Michael Arnett, who actually appeared to start the wreck, was taken to Halifax Hospital and is going to be kept overnight, but seems to be going to be okay. May miss a race or two if he's got a concussion, of course, but so be it. It seems to be he'll be okay. But then come the infamous green-white checkered. And as they're coming down for the checkered, they take the white, they run around almost 2 laps, they bang off one another, but still nothing happens. And then Reagan Smith and Brad Keselowski come together coming for the checkered. And some way Kyle Larson's car got well up into the catch fence. In fact, so far up that basically the front clip sheared off and wound up somewhat in the grandstands. The engine was actually laying below the front row of the grandstands. It showed on TV, and I'm sure it's replayed. It's probably on YouTube by now. I haven't really looked for it. I've watched who knows how many replays of it. And your concerns turn to two things there. Kyle Larson, I frankly thought for the first time in 12 years you might have had a fatal wreck at Daytona since Dale Earnhardt's wreck. Well, that was quickly become obvious. Kyle Larson dropped the window net and come almost immediately out of the car. They interviewed him later. He was fine. But the concern toward the people on the other side of the fence. And as of, I just read this on Jayski, and I'm not going to put the links in the description. I'm just going to put the websites. I've been checking NASCAR.com, Jayski.com, and SpeedTV.com that have articles on them. I'll just put all 3 websites in the description. But as of I'm making this at almost 10 o'clock Saturday night. And as of just a few minutes ago, I checked online. One is in critical condition. A man, a 14-year-old, went to trauma. Several went to a lesser degree hospital, maybe 11 or so. The reports injured are between 11 and 15. It's kind of sketchy. And Speed TV did an excellent. They come on the air pretty much. They were having, I believe it was a rerun of Final Practice. I don't usually watch practice shows. Just if I'm home and they're on, I might turn them on and half watch them. But they made an excellent. Basically, they went from a little before 6 till 7:30. Pretty much nonstop on this. They had Wendy Venturini at Halifax Hospital reporting, and you can read what she said on the Speed TV website. And one of the best ones they had, and let me get back to the winner of the race, Tony Stewart, although actually if I hadn't been so concerned about what happened in the stands, I actually believe Sam Hornish won that race. Tony Stewart did actually pass below the line, and Sam Hornish was actually the first legal car across the line, and he was spinning. I think it was Hornish. It was a yellow car. That's all I'm sure of. But Tony Stewart, who is a track operator, track owner of the famed Eldora Speedway in Ohio, was the most subdued Victor Lane interview I've ever heard. He did not mention sponsor. Said his thoughts go out to the people, which mine do too, go out to well wishes, go out to the people in the grandstand. And fortunately, Kyle Larson was okay, and seemed to be all the drivers in the second wreck were okay. But it's something NASCAR and other sanctioning bodies have went to tethers on wheel assemblies and so forth. Do they need to put tethers on front clips? I mean, seriously. Because a wheel can bounce into the stands. It happened not too many years ago at the Indy 500. Actually killed a spectator. Do they need to put tethers on the front clips? And if you don't know what I'm talking about, most passenger cars today are subframe cars or unibody cars. Underneath where you sit, they do not have a frame. You have the front clip, and then you have the rear, most of them being front wheel drive. They don't even have a rear frame anymore. But even so, for instance, the Chevrolet Camaros of the past, I don't know about the newer ones, the Mustangs, they were all unibody cars with a front frame and a rear frame and a unibody. But all I want to say, and Kyle Petty, and of course, you know, the tragedy around the Petty family, they've lost a few. Actually, almost every major family that's been in racing has lost someone to a racing accident, it seems like. The Pettys lost Randy Owens, a crew member and brother-in-law of Richard Petty, in a pit road accident at Talladega. Of course, they lost Adam Petty in that practice crash in New Hampshire a few years ago, 2000 I think. And Kyle Petty, they talk to him. They also talk about the psychological effect on a driver when something like that happens. He talked about his dad, Richard Petty, when he was actually drag racing. Yeah, Richard Petty drag raced for 1 year and had something happen, caused the car to go out of control, and a little boy was killed. This was in the 60s. And it was, so Richard Petty, and he would have been young at the time, had to do a lot of growing up after that. But it's just been kind of my take on it. But it just a race I was looking forward to watching, and had been, till the last 5 laps, had been a relatively tame and pretty much, well, till the wreck with 4 laps to go, a safe race. Trevor Bayne blew up or broke something in the drivetrain, put debris down, caution. Kyle Busch blew an engine, caution. Both got off without incident off the track. Had a 1-car spin early, very minor. And then they had a 3-4 car spin through the tri-oval. I think only 1 car actually even won out of the race. No injuries, but thoughts and best wishes go out to Michael Arnett and any spectators injured. That's just basically all I want to say. I did as you can tell, I did no preparation for this vlog. I just decided to make it. But that's kind of the way I do it, random, off the cuff.